What's up, fellow crime fighters? It's Cody Lee here, aka Tihyo, and today I'm here with Charede, and we are doing the first update for the new Project Gotham project thing that we're starting. A lot of you guys may know that I had a little build series back in the day on Project Gotham, which was like a super old world that we were working on, but I just don't have the time to work on it, so I got my good friend Charede over here and her awesome build team to start building Gotham for the upcoming Batman series that we're working on. So we'll have like a full-scale Gotham awesome goodness right here. So Charede, tell us a little bit about the project and what you guys have been doing.
Hey, so yeah, it's been a busy month or so now, I think it is, but we're basically predominantly replica builders. So what we're trying to do is bring to you guys something that's as accurate and reminiscent of the true Gotham environment as possible, per Tihyo's specifications. So the map we're standing in at the moment is based off the DC Universe map, in terms of its layout. So we've actually digitized their maps and brought it into Minecraft to create something that's authentic in its layout, but also scale it so things are proportionate in a decent way. And yeah, it's still early days. We're actually stood in Old Gotham at the moment, but we're just working on kind of building things up and getting things started. And then hopefully, I think Tihyo, you're planning to do your video series with it. So there'll be lots of key sets, key locations. So you've got things like the police headquarters, and we're gonna have things like the Park Row Theatre. You know, all those iconic locations from that universe will be present. We're gonna do our absolute best to make them look as good as possible. We're going to be using an aging process as well to make things look quite gritty, quite used, run down in some areas, you know, more modernized in others, and hopefully we're going to come up with something that'll be a really, really nice balance, and hopefully will look pretty darn good with any luck.
Alright,
So
sweet. So what we're gonna do this video, guys, is we're just gonna show you some of the stuff. You know, a lot of this is in very early development, but this is some of the stuff they already have is really amazing. So I want to show you guys some of the buildings that they have going on and stuff. So like Charede said, we're in Old Gotham right now. We have a lot of missing buildings around, some towers, stuff like that. Really cool buildings over here. This is gonna be the courthouse, correct?
yes, yeah, we're just messing around with some ideas at the moment, and just kind of this core structure element. So this is actually just us messing around with kind of the pillar layout and that. It's not obviously to scale, but we're just kind of messing with what's the core things that we can see, because we're using a lot of the wiki info going in game and actually seeing what's going on with the structure, and then kind of breaking it down and taking it from there, and then we'll kind of bring it all together and make it look right on the correct scale.
So we also got, this is the Old Gotham Hospital in Old Gotham. Where are you? Did I lose you?
Oh, just behind you here.
Oh, whoa, wait. Oh, there you are.
I just sped past you.
Jeez. All right, so we have this is the hospital, right? The one in Old Gotham. All right, we got the little hospital there. We have a giant hotel over here, and this
yes, there's quite a few hotels on this map in this area. So, and
like Charede said, all the buildings in this map are from the DC Universe Online Gotham. They've basically got a digital blueprint of the entire thing. That's why all the plot points are here of the actual map from the game. So they're making a pretty accurate Minecraft replica of that for us to use in the upcoming Batman series. So it's gonna be really, really sweet once it's all done. We're gonna keep you guys, if you guys want to see more of these update videos, let me know in the comments down below, and we'll take you guys through all the processes and, you know, update you guys frequently on, like, you know, what the team has got built and stuff like that. So right now we're looking at a lot of these buildings. The ones in stone obviously are not complete, but they're there. So, like, you know, we have kind of like a skyline. You know, just so we kind of can see stuff. They're in early development, I believe, right? The ones that are...
Yes, yeah, it's basic structuring and layout development, basically. So we'll take the blueprint that we've put in, and we're using a similar technique that we used on Project 845, basically. Then onto that, we build the street level, and then the stone phase is basically the core kind of layout identification section. And then from there, we build onto it like a canvas, do adaptations where needed, some layout adjustments as required. But we always keep in mind the information from the game, from the wiki, general comics, that kind of stuff, to try and inform us about the styling, the look, the purpose of the building, and go from there, basically. So we can, again, just try and keep it really authentic, really nice. And we are going a little further with also making some improvements, because although like I say, we love the universe and we love Gotham, but the DC universe version of the game, I found some of the buildings are quite low resolution, so we're trying to make some design improvements here and there to make things look a little bit more visually appealing on some of the buildings. Some of them are a little too simplistic from what we've seen, so we're just going to make the odd tweak here and there just to make things look a little nicer on a few buildings that we feel have not had as much love as they should have had in the game.
Alright, so I'm right now by the floating buildings. You want to describe what the purpose of these floating buildings are and what you guys kind of do, your process, and what the purpose of these floating things are?
Yeah, so basically, we like to brainstorm ideas and put little bits and pieces together to kind of get inspiration from. And in the case of like little miscellaneous buildings, like these shopfront buildings, we will take that little plot from the blueprint. We will move it outside or to an area like this that's just floating, and we will just sit and make variants of the same thing multiple times, or get different members of staff to do various interpretations of it. And then based off that, we can then generate content that we can use in multiple areas, or we can generate variations of a building and pick and choose what we want to use in the project, based on different people's areas of expertise, and also different potential uses of blocks and combinations of color schemes. And then we can also take these bits and remix them as well later on for another building, because there are some common themes that run within certain buildings within the project. So we can pinch a bit of detailing here, or we can use a bit here and there from one thing and then put it with a different styling of something else, and we can try and create more interpretations. So in essence, it's kind of like a brainstorming space. And once we decide we're absolutely happy with something and that we think this is reminiscent of what should be in that particular plot, we will then obviously port it into that plot by just a bit of world edit. But we like to keep copies. We actually have a separate world as well that we've set up that is literally just full of this kind of thing. So that, you know, sometimes you come across a building and you just think, oh, I don't know quite how to tackle this, or you're not inspired to, so you go off, do something else, come back. Or what we encourage some of the builders to do is just go into that other world, have a look around to get some ideas, because sometimes that can be really useful, especially if you're seeing common themes through various buildings. And then they can take that, bring it in, and then use that to kind of give them a basis to start on, to get going with the building, get the ideas and get the juices flowing, just to get going, really.
Yeah. So also, guys, all this, like where the sand is, this is all gonna be water. So these are obviously the two islands. We have Old Gotham, or down. This is downtown. That's how it works, right? Is Old Gotham is in downtown? Because there's three different parts. There's downtown, midtown.
Yeah, Old Gotham's the southern island. Well, it's part of the southern island. Then you've got the central island, which has got Robinson Park, Diamond District, and bits of Burnley on it. Right. And then the northern island's got Otisburg, Burnley, and East End in it.
But as you guys can see, I'm going over. I'm in Midtown right now, looking at it, and as you see, they have the road layout, and you can see like a little footprint for all the buildings. And this is how they know. They took the digital image right from the game, and this is how they know, what buildings go there and what the shape of each building looks like, so they can get it as accurate as possible to the actual game and make it look really cool. And here we're coming up to, this is Uptown now, and we've got all the different buildings and stuff like that up here. Where is Arkham Island? It's over...
Arkham Island, yeah, you're heading in the right direction. I'll
right
follow behind you.
Let's see.
To your right, there should be a bridge.
To my... Okay. Where?
Yeah, a little bit north. But yeah, you're heading in the right direction. If not, I can TP you.
Because I'm going west right now.
Well, if you want, let me TP you to me.
Yeah, it's probably the smartest thing to do. I'm over here.
Sorry, I've spent so many hours on here. I literally know my way around without looking at the map.
So here we go. We have. This is the actual island itself, right?
Yes. That's the island. This is the bridge that comes off. Yeah.
And so this is the actual Arkham Island. We have the asylum right here. And where's Botanic Gardens?
I'm above the Botanic Gardens.
Alright, this is Botanic Gardens. Oops, I said that was...
Yeah, this is Botanical Gardens.
Oh, this is the asylum.
Yeah, the asylum's got the dock next to it, so that's a little bit further around. It's on the south side.
Yeah, I think I found it. It's the bigger building.
Yeah, it's a bigger, more rectangular structure.
Alright,
is the actual asylum itself. Yeah.
We've got all these fancy buildings over here. Let's make our way back and show the viewers some of the buildings that you guys, some of the key buildings that you guys have built. Let me see. Did I lose speed?
Yeah, there's still a long way to go, but we're
like
proceeding there.
I feel like I lost speed. Did I lose? Is it like? Oh wait, maybe I just need to sprint forward.
Oh, hang on, there you go. I've just redone it for you.
All right. Oh yeah. Well, oh no, it's just because I didn't. Okay, let me get a running start. There we go. Now I'm actually going fast. Having some flying difficulties. Let me see if I can figure out my way back.
If you want, I can TP you. It's not a problem.
Are you back?
Most of the way.
Yeah, you might want.
It's surprising when you fly over the map, even with increased speed, it still takes a long time. It's about 2,500 by 2,200 roughly.
I just flew out of the map. I'm on a flat road right now. There we go. Yeah, there
you go. I've TP'd you back.
So wait, yeah,
that's right. Before you end up in the middle of nowhere.
Repeat this. So how, for the audience to know, how actually big is this map going to be in dimension-wise?
Yeah, so it's about 2,500 by about 2,200 roughly. Those are not exact figures. I've got the exact numbers somewhere, but that's round about the size for the entire thing. And then you've got the water around it, obviously. We factored in quite a large area for that, so that we've got a decent enough area to be sea, essentially, and rivers.
So if you guys can't tell, it's big.
Around it.
It's big.
Yeah, just a tad.
Alright, so right now we're looking at the almost finished GCPD headquarters. A lot of you guys that play the game may recognize this building. I know I do. It looks really cool. We've got a lot of the courtyard over here, there, and all this stuff. And what's left on this building to be complete?
So for this building to be complete, basically there's some glass that needs to go in. The windows, in essence, need to be finished. Yeah, they're just a little empty. We are also going to do some backlighting in there, and we're going to do this the same on all the buildings. There's going to be backlighting in the buildings internally, so they're getting all blacked out inside for the ones that haven't got internal sets. And then we're going to have a lighting system that could be switched on and off. So when it turns to night, the lights will come on in specific windows. So whether you're playing at daytime or nighttime, it's going to look like people are being active in the map in some respect. You know, the rooms are being used,
right,
you know, things are being,
be
you know, because it would look a bit
dull.
Yeah, I mean, it would just feel a bit empty and dull if there wasn't these kind of things. So
it'd be hard to
lighting
see.
is one thing. Yes, true.
It's
And
the
this
whole
is
thing
the
that-
other thing as well. Lighting will help with
The feel,
seeing
yeah.
the skyline at night. It will help with viewing things from a street level. We are going to do detailing on all streets, so there's going to be junctions, there's going to be roundabouts, there's going to be parking, there's going to be cars. We are going to do that. We're going to try and do the best we can with that. And lampposts, flower beds, general kind of decoration around areas. We're going to work really, really hard to make sure that all these little things are there. Although they may seem like little isolated things, collectively they make a huge difference to making a city look, a lot better. Like I say, in use, cared for. Again, we're also going to do the making areas look neglected side of it, the use of graffiti as well. But again, that all kind of adds to the authenticity of things having been used, the drama of things aren't quite right, there's bad guys running around doing nasty things and gangs and stuff, so it all adds to that. This building, like I say, the lighting is one aspect. There will be obviously the road stuff nearby with the lighting on there as well, and the junction markings. We need to do some aging on the building. The courtyard flooring has had some done to it because we put some of the mouldy brick in there and some cracked brick in there. We will do the same with some of the walls as well. There might be some minor changes to the composition of the windows, so I may be switching the slab type on the window overlooks. I haven't quite made my mind up on that yet. And then it's little things, like little buttons here and there, and grid patterns and things, just to kind of make things a bit more interesting. We've got the dumpsters to add in as well, electrical grids, roof items as well. So things like poles for like TV access, that kind of stuff. Vents. More electrical grid stuff, anything kind of power related, heating related, those kind of little structures basically that need to go in. So it doesn't seem like much, but it'll take a few hours to do, but once it's done it'll look a lot nicer. That's the thing, it's these little things that you kind of forget about that don't necessarily come to mind when you think about a building, but they do make a difference in the appearance. And they add an element of detail that wouldn't otherwise, be there. So, yeah, I'm going to work on putting those kind of things in. So essentially, it's lighting, aging, and fine detail when it comes to things like the roofing and some of the walls and just general use stuff like the garbage cans and things.
And over here we have the clock tower. This is complete, right?
Yes, yeah, the clock tower is complete. Obviously, we've got to do stuff around it, but the clock tower itself is done, yeah.
Alright, so we got the cool looking the clocks going on all the way. This building, was this one of the more, because looking at the building, it's not just your regular square building, it's set an angle. So how was it like building something like this? Like, because the whole thing's like all the sides are diagonals instead of being just straight. So was that like a challenge or something? Because it's the building itself is turned at a 45-degree angle.
Yes, yeah. The building itself is at that angle on the map. Having done the research, the blueprint information and interpretation of that, we determined that's the angle it was at. So hence we put it at that angle. Yes, building it at a 45-degree angle is a bit of a pain. Like I said, I'd far rather build things on a flat front. It does make life a bit easier. So yeah, it does make it a bit more of a nuisance, but it's not something that we haven't come across before. Building at a 45-degree angle is something you just kind of have to learn to deal with. Well, yeah, and it
also builds life into the city, because if everything was just at these cubicle squares, it's just, after a while it's just all gonna look like the same. But having buildings, at these different angles and stuff like that, it adds a lot more diversity to the.
Yeah, it breaks up the lines. Yeah, I mean the thing is with Gotham being essentially New York, a lot of it is in a very Americanized grid-based system in terms of layout, which is useful. Trust me, it's really, really helpful in some respects. Makes our lives a lot easier. But there are some curved roads, and there are some structures that are at 45-degree angle. There are some that are about slightly odder angles, actually. They're few and far between, but there are buildings at some very odd angles. So we're gonna try our best to actually incorporate those as they are, rather than meddling with them and changing the direction of them as much as possible. We've already had one case where that isn't possible, so we've adjusted as needed. But for things like the clock tower, you know, we've managed to keep it as is, and work with it. But at the end of the day, we want to give high detail, strong results. So it will depend on a circumstance by a circumstance basis, as to whether we can do that with specific buildings. But you can see the kind, even at a 45-degree angle, the kind of detail you can achieve for something like a clock tower. It can be done. It can be done. It's just a matter of planning it out, thinking carefully, looking at the core structures, how to do the theming within the constraints, you know, of what's there. And just doing what you can, really. Like I say, we don't do everything as a one-shot thing. We do try to do several interpretations and redos and try different ways of going about the same thing. With this is what this resulted in. That's the result we got once we did that. Yeah, sometimes it's easier with some things than others. There's some structures where we just go, right, well, this is instantly, boom, okay, this is a funny angle, but you know what? We can do this particular way. You just sometimes have to think about things outside the box a little bit, sometimes. When you have a little, you know, problematic angle or a structure that's finicky, in terms of little specifics, you know. I mean, for example, one of the things on here, there's little statues. Now, because of the way we've done it, we've managed to get them on, you know, a 90-degree angle because they're on the corners, you see. So it made life a bit easier. But you've got things like the circular face and that. Think about it in a flat way, but then just stagger it out on the angle. Works perfectly fine, perfectly acceptable. And then things like the tower structure at the top. I mean, one of the common inclinations is just to build with pure square blocks. We've used a lot of stairs, we've used a lot of clay, just to kind of imply the structure, and to thin it out a bit, to give you more of a point. So sometimes it's about being suggestive with the structure, rather than just having it really, really bulky, and that can give you the illusion of a point a bit more, you know, for example. So yeah, it involves a little bit of faffing around, but we get there in the end.
Yeah. So
like I say, I can't say it was the easiest thing to do, but we got there in the end.
You can get there, right. So yeah, guys, that's primarily a lot of the stuff that we have going on in Project Gotham. If you guys want to see, keep updated with the project and stuff like that, make sure you follow the new Project Gotham Twitter, at Minecraft Gotham. It is, the link for it will be in the description down below. Make sure you follow that to keep updated with, you know, when new videos come out and stuff like that. And, you know, just check out the, you know, stay on the channel, obviously, and you can see that. And also, if you want to see some of the building being done, you know, live, you can check out Charede's stream. What's your stream address so people can find you?
So it's twitch.tv /Charede. Charede spelled CHAREDE. But yeah, I am building some of that live on there. Some of the guys will be building as well. They don't have streams, but they'll be doing it sometimes when I'm streaming it. So you can catch some of them there and chat with them. And you can also ask me questions. I got no problem with that at all. More the merrier.
Right. And also, we've got set it up. We're actually setting up a GoFundMe page where you guys can go and help contribute to this project and there are some rewards, if I'm not mistaken, that you can potentially get based on, you know, donating and stuff like that. If I'm not mistaken, we may release some buildings, or you may get, you know, you can see early access screenshots of things and stuff like that if you're a you know, if you help out the project and all that. It just helps us get this project done, you know, on time, on budget and stuff like that, so we can get the Batman series and stuff up and running, because, you know, not everything in life is free, guys, you know. So we gotta pay our good workers here and make sure they can you know, so they have an incentive and they can, you know, be rewarded for making these awesome buildings, stuff like that. So link to all that information will be down in the description down below. So will Charede's Twitch. Is there anything else that people can follow you at to, you know, see what you're doing and stuff like that?
Yeah, I've got a Twitter account at Charede Gaming. You can follow me on there to keep up to date, as well as just message me if you got a question. And then I'm also on YouTube as well at Charede Gaming is the channel. Again, I have messages. I open my message box every so often, so if you want to contact me that way, I will try and post some videos actually on it as well. I might do like a builder's highlight of certain buildings, perhaps. I have been recording some of the building process, so I might time lapse some of it.
Nice.
So people can check some of that out. But yeah, let me know in the comments. I'd be really interested to know what kind of building-based videos you'd be interested in, guys. So let me know. I will check out the comment section when the video goes up.
Sweet. All right, guys. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure you give that video a thumbs up. If you have any questions or suggestions, leave it down in the comment section down below. Make sure you check out the Project Gotham Twitter. Help out with the GoFundMe page if you want to see this project continue at a fast rate and get it out so we can get the Batman series out and stuff like that. And yeah, remember, fellow crime fighters, follow Charede, follow us all, you know, stay updated and stuff like that, and tie your shoes.